Welcome to Crocodile MTG, your home of competitive, constructed play in all Magic the Gathering formats. Today's video was brought to you by all our wonderful sponsors, affiliates, and patrons. Thank you all for supporting the Crocodile MTG channel, and we hope you enjoy today's video. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jordan with Crocodile MTG, here bringing you another Magic the Gathering video. Today we're going to be playing in the early access event for Theros Beyond Death, so we're super excited for that. Thank you so much Wizards of the Coast for sponsoring us today and letting us be able to play in that. They are providing us with a fully loaded account, so we're super excited about that, being able to jump in, dive into all the Theros Beyond Death cards, and hang out, draft, play some sealed, and maybe, if we have time, play some constructed. So very excited about that. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for joining me today. We are live on Twitch, something that does not happen that often, but we do enjoy it when we have the opportunity to. So we're going to go ahead. We have actually 2.5 hours before Wizards of the Coast releases Theros Beyond Death Early Access event. It is currently 10:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. They are releasing Theros Beyond Death at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time because it starts at 9:30 Pacific Time Zone. I think that's what it's called. Either way, it's 3 hours after, which ends up being 12:30 our time. So we're going to go ahead and just take some time. We're going to have some fun. We're going to play some standard while we wait. And hopefully you all join us today and have some fun with us. So thank you all so much for being here. Let's go ahead and play some decks. I actually don't play MTG Arena that much for content, so this is actually a little different. Let's go ahead and I've been playing some standard best of one, and I've been playing this Temur Adventures deck, so I think we're going to go ahead and continue and play that still. Alright, this hand looks it looks a little sketchy, but I think with the Lucky Clover and Beanstalk Giant, I think it's actually a pretty good keep. We'd like to see an Edgewall Innkeeper, but if not, that's okay as well. We're going to go ahead and play this Stomping Ground tapped and pass the turn. Temple of Epiphany leads me to believe they are probably a Jeskai Fires deck or a blue-red Flash deck. Alright, another red card. So I think I'm going to go ahead and play this other Lucky Clover. If they are the blue-red control deck, they're going to probably counter the other Lucky Clover. Okay, but if they didn't counter it, they might just be Jeskai Fires. Okay, so this is probably blue-red Tempo. Nope, the Shimmering of Possibilities confirms it's most likely blue-red. I mean, most likely Jeskai Fires. And there's the white to confirm it. So yeah, we're going to go ahead, and I think we actually just want to... Do we want to get aggressive? Let's go ahead and Beanstalk Giant this turn for a bunch. Let's grab a green source here. We'll grab a blue source. And we'll grab another green source, I guess. Let's go ahead and Fae of Wishes here 3 times and just grab a bunch of cards out of our sideboard. Let's go ahead and take the Great Henge. I definitely want the Chandra here. Maybe it's just the... Being that I know that they're Jeskai Fires, maybe I just take the Return to Nature here. Especially since we have another Fae of Wishes in hand. We'll see what our opponent plays here. They might have a Fires of Invention, but if they do, they probably just play one other card. Alright, they might just die here because of that play. Oof, that's a little rough. Yeah, let's go ahead and play Chandra here.
Let's start at a sizzle and see if you make it to.
I'm gonna go ahead and tick up here, and I'm actually just gonna go ahead and play Fae of Wishes. That way, if we want to, we can return it to our hand. We're probably gonna end up just blocking it though, unless they have a removal spell for this Chandra. Alright, if they return our Fae of Wishes to hand, that's actually extremely good for us.
Might be a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised they did that, to be honest. This seems much better for us than for them. Ooh, we drew another Lucky Clover. Alright, it looks like our opponent's just going for the beatdown plan and trying to kill us here. So we're going to go ahead here and... we can go to the sideboard if we want. What if I just play this Great Henge? It doesn't do anything. Alright, I'm gonna tick up here.
Is that just me, or is it getting a little warm in here?
I'm gonna go back to our sideboard. And I think we're just looking for... I guess we grab the Sorcerer's Spyglass here. We're going to go ahead and play the Fae of Wishes. I want to go ahead and look at our opponent's hand. And I think I actually named the Cavalier here. Hey, thank you so much, Solo, for the follow. I think I want to go ahead and name Cavalier Flames. We'll go ahead. That way they can't activate it. I guess what they could do, though, is bounce with Teferi. So I do have to be wary of that. But it would force them to sack their other Teferi, so we might be in a pretty good spot here. I'm actually going to block, that way we keep our Pulse of Marasa up. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and block here. Alright, our opponent's going to deal 2 to us and probably just Bone Crusher here. So here's the thing. First of all, we have this Great Henge in hand, which is pretty good. We're going to go ahead and minus here and destroy the Bone Crusher Giants.
Check out these fireworks.
They don't have enough mana to play a Teferi, bounce the Spyglass, and Cavalier, so I think I'm fine with Bone Crusher Gianting the... I'm going to go ahead and Bone Crusher Giant the Teferi here. And then that also leaves up... we can leave up Pulse of Marasa to get back Fae of Wishes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And actually 2 more of these triggers go right to our opponent's face. I should have played the other Lucky Clover first. I might have missed that. Alright, our opponent just ends up conceding there. Alright, so up to gold tier 3. We haven't been really grinding the event too much. We did reach level 115 on the Eldraine Mastery scale. Alright, we'll go ahead and jump back in here. We are playing Temur Adventures for anyone interested. Alright, this hand, because we have the green source, we don't have a third land, which is a little awkward, but we do have Edgewall Innkeeper into Lucky Clover. I think this hand's good enough, where as long as we draw our third land, we're representing a pretty strong hand here. Alright, Healer's Hawk, turn 1. Alright, and there's our other land here. So we're going to go ahead and Edgewall Innkeeper. We're going to go ahead right after our curve. Lucky Clover into Beanstalk Giant. Alright, it looks like our opponent might be a little land light, which is not a problem for us. We are drawing lands left and right. It can't block, right? Loyal Pegasus cannot attack or block alone. So we'll go ahead and get in for 1, at least negate a little bit of that life gain. Alright, Haunted Witness. That is a card. Ooh, here's another. So now the question is, do I want to play the other Lucky Clover here? Take 4 next turn, possibly more. I think the answer to that is yes. I think the plus side to Lucky Clover and then Brazen Borrower is probably too much. We can also... Alright, so I'm going to go ahead. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to enter the Stomping Ground tapped. I'm going to play the other Lucky Clover. I'm not going to attack. Unless they have a super large pump spell, I think I'm in pretty good shape to be able to survive this attack. And then next turn I can play Beanstalk Giant. Ooh. Herald Banner. Heraldic Banner. So we're going to go ahead and take 9 here. Yeah, pretty large attack from our opponent. But again, this combination of Beanstalk Giant, we're going to go ahead and get 3 lands off it. So we're going to get a blue. I might as well just get all 3. I'm going to get a blue, a red source, and then I'm going to get a forest here. We'll go ahead and play the Fable Passage for a turn. I am going to get in for 1 here. And end the turn. And then this Brazen Borrower is going to be able to return 3 cards to hand, which is going to just blow out our opponent, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I did choose Petty Theft, so I think I'm going to go ahead and choose the banner first. Force them to replay it if they want to. And we're only going to be taking 2 here, so I'm going to go ahead and return the Loyal Pegasus. And also the Healer's Hawk, so we can negate some of this life gain. Bounce it back. We're going to return the banner as well. We're going to take 2 here. Oops, I put a stop. But hopefully we can draw some cards. If not, we might use this escape to the wilds, depending on what our opponent does here. So if they're smart, which I'm assuming our opponent is, they'll probably play Healer's Hawk and the Pegasus here, and then next turn play the banner for lethal. Oh, they actually have raised the alarm. So they're going wide here, making sure to end the game as soon as possible. So we're going to go ahead and get a green source. Alright, Lucky Clover is good, but not good enough here. So the question is, they attack in. Alright, they play banner, they pump their team. We have 2 blockers, and then we take 6. So that's not going to be good enough. Alright, so we can play another land this turn off Escape the Wilds. I think this has to be our play. Alright, this might have actually saved us here, I think. And I think I actually want to play the other Lucky Clover. So I'm going to have to play Stomping Ground here untapped. And I'll play this other Lucky Clover. So we are going to 3, so that means I can't actually attack, but I can kill 4 of their things in their combat. So we're actually going to be able to get in here for... we're going to actually be able to save us here. None of these cards are in our hand, by the way. They're all in exile. So we do have to be wary of that. Just so you know as well, with Escape to the Wild, exile the top 5 cards of your library. You may play the exiled cards this way until end of your turn. End of your next turn, I apologize. You can also play an additional land. Now, with that effect, if we play, for example, Bone Crusher Giant here was exiled with Escape to the Wild. If we Bone Crusher Giant, if we stomp this turn, Bone Crusher Giant moves to the on an adventure pile as opposed to exiled. It's exiled on an adventure. So if that makes any sense, that's actually a little different. So it moves to a different zone essentially, and it's no longer under the Escape to the Wild's clause. I think that made sense. If it didn't, I apologize, but... Alright, so our opponent's probably going to attack here, push some damage through. Alright, I'm interested to see they're not attacking with everything here. I understand why, however, I think we still have to kill the Healer Hawks here. I don't know, let me see here. Let me do this first, because our opponent knows we're going to do it. Alright, let's go ahead and get 4 triggers. We do have to take out one of these Haunted Witnesses, unfortunately. I think the other one's going to Healer's Hawk, though. Now the question is, do we block? Because we can play out a bunch of blockers next turn. So I think the answer is no. We go to 1 here. It's a little bit risky. I'm going to go ahead and maximize our mana here. So let's go ahead and start with Beanstalk Giant. We're going to get 4 lands off this. I'll get this other blue source as well. Alright, our opponent ended up just conceding. We were at 1, though. I don't think they should have conceded here. I understand we're getting a lot of value off that, but we would have been, they may have been able to get the last couple points of damage through. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into another game here. Alright, this hand looks a little slow without a Lucky Clover, but we do have enough lands, so I'm tempted to keep it. We also have a Beanstalk Giant to ramp up a little bit. I feel like the metagame's a little more aggressive than this. I think with this deck, you want the either Edgewall, Innkeeper, or Lucky Clover. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take a mulligan here. Alright, this looks about the same hand. I don't think I want to mulligan the 5, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it. I do think I want the island on the bottom, though. And we are on the draw, so hopefully we can accumulate some of this value back. Alright, there's actually a lucky clover, so that's actually pretty exciting here. We're going to go ahead and enter the battlefield tapped. Actually should have started with the Fabled Passage, but that's okay. Hopefully we draw an untapped third land. That way I can play the Beanstalk Giant. Alright, this is probably blue-green flash, so it's a little bit of a weaker matchup for us. But a lucky clover does go a long way in this matchup. So we'll see what they... Ooh, we drew the untapped source. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pay 2 here. It's a little unfortunate. I could have avoided that damage with Fabled Passage here. But we'll see if our opponent does decide to counter the Beanstalk Giant. And it looks like they're not going to. So we're going to grab a Forest here. And then grab... Let's go ahead and grab our other island here. I think I'm going to leave this Brazen Borrower up. Actually, they just have green up. So they're probably going to pass. I'm going to go ahead and Lovestruck Beast instead. Heart's Desire it. And then next turn we can play Lovestruck Beast and hold up the Brazen Borrower. Actually, maybe I Beanstalk Giant first and see what our opponent does. Let me go ahead here and grab... I'm just going to grab a Forest. Let's go ahead and see if our opponent counters this. They didn't counter the last one, but they may not have had a counter spell. Alright, they let it resolve. I'm kind of curious what's in our opponent's hand, or what they're prioritizing. Let me go ahead and grab a green source here. I don't want to tap like that, auto tapper. What the heck? Alright, they probably countered the Lovestruck Beast. Alright, and I think that's fine. But now the question is, and I think the answer is yes, I think I want to go ahead and return Brineborn Cutthroat to its owner's hand. And here's the thing, if they have Mystical Dispute and decide to use that here, yeah, so they do. I'm actually going to get a second trigger here, and I think I still just return Brineborn. I think that's the main powerhouse of this deck, and I think we just want to get it out of the way here. Next turn, if they don't have a counter spell, which they most likely do. If they play Nissa here, though, I think I'm just going to play a Beanstalk Giant. Alright, let me see how they react to this. Alright, I'm going to force action on them. If they have a, I was going to say, if they have a counter spell, they're going to need to use it here. I'm saving the Escape to the Wilds, that way we can reload a little bit. I'm not going to attack here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and block everything. Unless they have something... Yeah, I was going to say, unless they have something powerful, I think we're just going to get through here. Alright, I'm going to attempt a Lovestruck Beast. If this gets countered here, I'm going to go ahead and Escape to the Wild. And it didn't get countered, so that means they might not have anything here. Okay, they do have a Sinister Sabotage. So they did get us here. Alright, our opponent passes the turn. I want to avoid a mystical dispute, so I'm going to go ahead and play the land. Alright, they have a growth spiral. And they had a frilled mystic. Well, they found a frilled mystic. Alright, so our opponent's beating us down pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and block here. Ooh, that that might be a game changer here. Alright, so I'm going to get Chandra here. And what else should I get? Alright, our opponent actually just concedes on the Chandra. So Chandra would have come down, wiped their board, and then picked up the pieces by dealing a damage to them each turn. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into the next match. Alright, I think this hand's good enough to keep. Yeah, we'll go ahead and keep it. If we draw a Lucky Clover, it's gonna get even better. I'm gonna go ahead and let it enter the battlefield tapped here. Ooh, super nice Lightning Bolt sleeves. Alright, Scorch Spitter coming down from our opponent. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave mana up and pass the turn. I'm going to go ahead and leave stops at the end of their main phase. Alright, Robber of the Rich. So I think I do want to go ahead and get rid of Robber of the Rich. I'm not too worried about Scorch Spitter. And we'll let our opponent have their turn. Alright, now... Now what? I think I just Beanstalk Giant here. Maybe I just play Bone Crusher Giant. If they're playing aggressive, maybe I want to get aggressive as well. If they decide to use a removal spell on Bone Crusher Giant, they're going to take 2 for it. So it's at least something. Alright, Legion War Boss coming down. So our opponent's going to get in for none. And now... I think I actually Fae of Wishes in preparation of next turn. And I think I'm actually going to get a Flame Sweep here. And then next turn I'm going to have Flame Sweep and Brazen Borrower. And our opponent's going to have limited plays this turn because of it. It looks like our opponent's going all out here. A little surprising. I'm assuming that they want to Castle Embercleave here. And with that, I think I just blocked the Scourge Spitter. If they just have a shock here, they still take 2, which is fine. Oh, they actually had an Embercleave here. Okay. No, so that was still probably correct. So what I'm going to do next turn is, like I said before, I'm going to go ahead and flame sweep everything. And then I'm actually going to bounce the Ember Cleave. So if our opponent has a follow-up shock or anything like that, I think that's fine. Yep. And then they're going to take 2. So what we're going to do here is what I said a moment ago. We're going to go ahead and grab a... guess we grab a blue source here. I guess it doesn't matter. Let's just grab a green source. We're going to go ahead and flame sweep. We're going to go ahead and bounce Ember Cleave. And our opponent's Legion War Boss is going to die. Next turn, we're going to get to play this Fae of Wishes. I guess I should have grabbed a blue source in anticipation of this turn, because we could play Fae of Wishes and also Brazen Borrower. Here's another Legion War Boss, which is a little annoying. Ah, and a blue source, right on time. Here, though, I think I just want to play Fae of Wishes and leave up the ability to return it to my hand. That way we can destroy this Ember Cleave. Alright, so our opponent has Ember Cleave in hand. So Ember Cleave is going to cost 3. 4, 5, 6. So they don't have enough to play Ember Cleave and also use Castle Vantress, which I think is fine. Alright, so here you want to be wary of this. I'm going to hold full control here. So we're going to go ahead and take the first damage, and then we're going to pay for Fae of Wishes ability. So we did save ourselves 3 points of damage. What's in our graveyard? We have a Bone Crusher Giant. And we also have this Flame Sweep. Alright, we're at 2, so we're not... they might just have the spell to kill us here. Alright, yep, they had the Slaying Fire. That's unfortunate, but it does happen from time to time. We are going to lose. We'll go ahead and jump into another one here. Alright, this hand is a little interesting. I think it's good enough we still keep it. We're going to be able to filter quite a few cards out of our library. Alright, let's go ahead and Lovestruck Beast here. Alright, so our opponent's setting up their combo here already. Enter the battlefield tapped, and we'll go ahead and play Edgewall Innkeeper. We will get in for 1 here. Alright, there is the red source for our opponent. There's another Witch's Oven. I think I'm going to go ahead and pay 2 here. I'm going to go ahead and get this Beanstalk Giant. We're going to grab a green source. We're going to go ahead and Lovestruck Beast again. Get it for 2. We definitely want to be aggressive, but unfortunately, once they find a cat, they're going to be able to gain a bunch of life. So we really want to be playing for the long game here. Alright, they do have a Thrashing Brontodon. Here I'm going to go ahead and grab a blue source. I think I'm going to go ahead and fetch with Fertile Footsteps here. I'm going to go ahead and grab another red source. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just play Lovestruck Beast this turn. That way I have a blocker for this Thrashing Brontodon. There's another Edgewall Innkeeper, which is pretty good. I want to build my mana, and then I want to get rid of this Thrashing Brontodon as soon as possible. Alright, Masker Girl, very good here. That is actually kind of a... interesting. Our opponent let that go, that way it would kill our... Alright, there's a Lucky Clover. So this is pretty good here. So let me Lucky Clover. I'm going to go ahead and grant it here. And I'm going to be able to get two things from our sideboard. I think the first thing I need to grab for sure is the Sorcerer's Spyglass. But I do think the other thing I'm going to go ahead and grab is... I'm almost tempted here to just grab a Great Henge. I'm not sure, though, if it should be Great Henge or the Chandra. We're not under any significant pressure here. The other thing I could see grabbing is the Return to Nature. That way I can kill the Trail of Crumbs. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Let me grab Return to Nature. I can kill the Trail of Crumbs. I can Sorcerer's Spyglass, the Witch's Oven, and then I can attempt to get rid of the Masker Girl a little later. I think we can survive a couple hits off this. There's another Thrashing Brontodon. If they use it here, though... Interesting. So they use it on the Lucky Clover instead of saving it for the Spyglass here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead first and destroy target enchantment and get rid of the Trail of Crumbs. Now I'm going to go ahead and Sorcerer's Spyglass and hit the Witch's Oven. If I can type here. Witch's Oven. Right? Yeah. Alright, so we'll get rid of Witch's Oven here, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and keep the Brazen Borrower up. That way we can return Massacre Girl and avoid some of this damage. Alright, there's Gildagoose. Not really too concerned about that one. And now that they can't play Massacre Girl, I'm going to go ahead and return her to hand, making them lose 2 life. Ooh, and we drew another Fae of Wishes. That's really good here. I think, though, I'm going to go ahead and get a board state down. I'm going to go ahead and play an Edgewall Innkeeper here. I'm going to go ahead and play Lovestruck Beast, and then I'm going to play this Fae of Wishes. Ooh, and I drew a land. So I will play the land per turn. Play this Fae of Wishes. We're going to draw another card. Ooh, we drew another Brazen Borrower. Very, very good. And I really think taking out our opponent's Trail of Crumbs there was very good. They are down 2 Brontodons already. We have the Sorcerer's Spyglass on the Witching Oven. Now they can, if they want to, 2 triggers, 3 triggers. They're actually not going to be able to kill the Fey Wishes or the Lovestruck Beast here. Because if they play Massacre Girl, they're only going to get 3 triggers off it. So a little bit of an interesting position for our opponent. Also, if once these Beanstalk Giants start coming down, they're definitely going to have some struggles here. Alright, they're going to go ahead and kill that, which I think is fine. I'm actually not sure why they decided to do that. What's in our sideboard that could be good here? Anything better than what we have going on now? Probably not. I kind of just want to escape to the wild this turn and see what we hit. I can play an additional land. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and play Temple tapped. And then I'll play Fabled Passage. That didn't make much sense, but okay. We hit a bunch of lands, unfortunately. And so again, play this Brazen Borrower. I think we just go ahead. There's no point in attacking. And once our opponent plays this Massacre Girl, we'll go ahead and flash in Brazen Borrower. And then hopefully we'll be able to defeat them with our flyers. I'm not really seeing a great way to unlock this Lovestruck Beast. Not currently, at least. We're going to have to draw either Edgewall Innkeeper or another Lovestruck Beast. Which we do have a handful in our deck still. Alright, there's a Murderous Rider. And I think that's fine. And now they're going to play a Murderous Rider. And again, that's fine. We're going to go ahead and shuffle our library. I know we ended up scrying. I should have done that in the reverse order. I should have played my Fable Passage first. Alright, there's another Brazen Borrower. So can I... Yeah, I can play this Lovestruck Beast and hold up. Not Elemental. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and go to attacks first. And I think the play might actually just be going and grabbing Chandra here. Alright, that's fine. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and play this island. My mana is running around all over the place. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start our sideboard. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Chandra. I'll play the Chandra.
If you haven't heard of me, then get ready to meet my flames.
I'm going to go ahead and -3. It does take out our Brazen Borrower, but our Brazen Borrower had a chance of dying to the Murderous Rider anyhow. So I think I'm fine with going ahead and just killing it with the Chandra. Our opponent drawing cards, trying to find something. I'm at 14. Let's go ahead and play a Beanstalk Giant this turn. Enter the battlefield tapped. I'm going to go ahead and +2 on the Chandra. Get in for 1. I don't really think our opponent has any way out of this. They have to find a way to unlock Sorceress Spyglass and... Okay, there's a Mayhem Devil. There's a trail of crumbs. So I guess they can gain some life. So maybe I don't want to play this Brazen Barware this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and force action on our opponent. I'm going to see if they... if they're going to sack a food here. And now I actually think I just win, because now I just -3.
Everyone knows
and attack in with everything. Alright, yep, that's going to be the game. Alright, I have to go grab a package that was left on my porch. I'm going to bring it inside real quick. So I will be right back. Thank you all so much for watching. Please hit that follow button if you're here and are new to the channel. And I will be right back. We'll be playing more standard before the Theros Beyond Death early access event. That starts in an hour and a half, I believe. So yeah, I'll be right back. Thank you all so much for watching. Alright everyone, I am back. I apologize for that. Let's go ahead and jump back into standard with some Temur adventures. Alright, our opponent here is Del Monte. This hand looks really good, but we don't have any adventure cards. That being said, I think it's still good enough to go ahead and keep. And I think I'm actually going to have to... Do I take some damage? Maybe not this turn. I'm going to go ahead and enter the battlefield tapped. We don't have any reason to play out these Edgewall Innkeepers right away. What are these? Extra life! That's awesome. Those are some awesome sleeves, Del Monte. We're going to go ahead, and we are going to go ahead and pay 2 here. We're going to go ahead and get this Lucky Clover down while we can. Temple of Epiphany, there's probably 2 decks that this is, and it looks like probably Jeskai Fires. Ooh, another Lucky Clover. Alright, hopefully we draw a adventure spell here. There's a Teferi. Probably gonna bounce a Lucky Clover.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
And I think we're gonna play this Forest. We'll go ahead and replay the Lucky Clover here. I am gonna go ahead and replay the not replay. I'm gonna go ahead and play these Edgewall Innkeepers, and hopefully our opponent doesn't just have something ridiculous this turn.
Nothing.
And they have a Deafening Clarion. So that's unfortunate. Now we're kind of hellbent. I know we have cards in hand, but they're not very good. And our opponent's just going to be able to keep ticking up and do things, and we lost our Edgewall Innkeepers to my negligence. So that's a little unfortunate. Our opponent, Cavalier Brainstorm. You're going to be able to tick up, finally, and something. And that's actually a very good something. So we're going to go ahead and grab, let's grab a blue source here. We have plenty of green, so let's go ahead and let's grab another blue source, because just in case we need to. Alright, let's grab a green source here. Alright, next turn we're going to at least get to play the Great Henge, so that's pretty good. However, our opponent does have the Teferi Time Raveler. Oh, they actually choose to bounce the Lucky Clover here. So 1, 2, 5, 8, 9 mana. So we're actually going to get to go ahead and play the Beanstalk Giant and also the Great Henge in the same turn, and a Lucky Clover. So this next turn is actually going to be pretty good for us, as long as we hold up 2 green mana, which hopefully the auto tapper doesn't try and screw us over. Alright, we take 5 here. Again, not to worry. Alright, the auto tapper does not try to screw us over. And now if our opponent doesn't have anything for this Beanstalk Giant, this might actually be able to run away with the game a little bit. I would like to find another land, though. So we'll see here if our opponent provides a land. I'm sorry, I don't want another land. I was like thinking what I just said, and I was like, I don't want another land. Alright, they actually have a Brazen Borrower here. I actually think that's pretty good for us. We're going to be able to fetch out a bunch of cards from our deck. Alright, there's Fires. Our Fires opponent's probably going to play... Okay. I thought they'd play a Red Cavalier, but they did not. Alright, they're probably going to have lethal next turn, but we have to do all we can while we can. Ooh. Alright, so this is a little interesting. So let me play this to start. Let me go ahead and fetch out all our basics. Alright, we're going to go ahead and return 3 things to our opponent's hand. One of them is going to be the Fires, one of them is going to be the Cavalier, and then the other one is going to be... Interesting. I guess this Brazen Borrower... This is a little awkward. I guess we bounce the Teferi. I think I'm going to start with the... Not start. I'm going to go ahead and play the Brazen Borrower, because we are going to get the draw here. I was going to say, if we find anything here, we actually just reload our hand. And that was actually a pretty good one to find. So our opponent doesn't have ways to deal with our hand. So as long as we... Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab, I think, Mass Manipulation, Chandra... Okay, and our opponent actually just concedes because of it. So that was pretty good here. Alright, we got a gem. We'll go ahead and jump right back in. Grinding the ladder. Yeah, I think this hand is probably good enough to keep. We'll go ahead and keep it. I believe I'm going to lead with Breeding Pool tapped. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and play a tap Stomping Ground and play out Edgewall Innkeeper. I would have liked a Lucky Clover that turn, but we did not find one. Alright, we are going to get the Beanstalk Giant, though, this turn. So that's pretty good. I think here we're going to go ahead and grab another blue source. We'll get in for one while we can. And we'll see if this is a... Okay, this is another Jeskai Fires deck, it looks like.
I can no longer
And I was going to say, yeah, they probably bounced the Edgewall Innkeeper. I think I'm going to go ahead and pay 2. I'm going to play Innkeeper, Lovestruck Beast, Lovestruck Beast. Alright, there's another Innkeeper. That's pretty good. There's a Fires of Invention. Plus on the Teferi, and we'll see if our opponent plays anything else. Bone Crusher Giant. Stomp on the Bone Crusher Giant. Alright, so... Interesting, interesting, interesting. Alright, let me start by stomping the Teferi. I'm going to go ahead and play this Edgewall Innkeeper. I'm going to go ahead and attack, and then I'm going to hold control. Because what I want to do is I'm going to let our opponent draw, and then I'm going to Aether Gust for the Fires. And our opponent now has to decide if they want to put it on top or bottom. And it looks like they put it on the bottom. But you want to do that after they draw, that way, alright, it looks like they have another Fires here. You want to do that after they draw, that way you can keep them off Fires of Invention for a turn in case they didn't have another one. Unfortunately, our opponent did, but no worries. Alright, so I think here I'm going to take this opportunity to go ahead. I'm going to search my sideboard and get... Actually, I think I just get a Return to Nature here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and destroy the Fires of Invention. And I'm going to go ahead and get in with Lovestruck Beast here. Alright. Looks like our opponent is going to go ahead and offer the trade. They are going to shuffle their library in Scry 2. They do shuffle Cavalier of Gales into the library. One top, one bottom.
Let's slow this down.
Alright, they do decide to bounce Edgewall Innkeeper. I don't think that's going to matter too much. I think this turn is pretty straightforward. I think I play Edgewall Innkeeper. I'm going to go ahead and play Fae of Wishes. We'll draw a card. Alright, they're going to Bone Crusher Giant my Edgewall Innkeeper. I'm going to go ahead and take out their Teferi. And I think I just Lovestruck Beast here. Keep the pressure on our opponent. Alright, there's a Deafening Clarion. And our opponent follows up with a Bone Crusher Giant. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and escape to the wild here, see what we find. Ooh, we found quite a bit of goodies here. So I am going to go ahead and play this Lucky Clover. I am going to go ahead and pay 2 life also. I'm going to go ahead and grab a red source here. And I'm going to get in for 1. And we will pass the turn. Alright, we'll see what our opponent has here. Sphinx of Foresight is not what I'm worried about. I'm actually going to use Bone Crusher Giant's Stomp ability to take out the Foresight. And then I can also continue to get in through the air as well. Oh my goodness. Alright, here's another Lucky Clover. We'll go ahead and play her. We're going to go ahead and find 3 lands with Beanstalk Giant. Let's grab a blue source. Now I think I just go ahead and play a Beanstalk Giant. I mean, it's a 12/12 monster. Get in for 1. Oh, that was a... Shoot. I thought that Fae of Wishes was a different Fae of Wishes. That's unfortunate. I would have played Fae of Wishes there had I realized. That was my bad. I wasn't keeping track of my abilities. Let's go ahead and move to combat here. I'm going to go ahead and attack with Beanstalk Giant and Fae of Wishes. Our opponent does have to block Beanstalk Giant. Well, I guess they don't have to. They can gain 5 life with Kenrith. Which, by the way, Kenrith is an insane card. Alright, we're going to go ahead and just play everything out. And hopefully they don't draw a board wipe. If they do draw a board wipe, though, I think it's going to hurt them just as much as it hurts me. Unless they draw a time wipe with where they're able to return Kenrith. Okay. No time wipe yet. Alright, there's Teferi. No matter what they return here, I think I'm going to get value out of it.
I've got time.
Sure. I'm really worried about a time wipe here. Oh, and that actually might just win the game here. Yeah, I think it will. So we're gonna go ahead and get... we're gonna take 2 off this Bone Crusher Giant, and yep. The Brazen Borrower off the top actually going to win us the game. This deck is really sweet. I really like this deck. We should go ahead and prepare for Throne of Eldraine here. What should we change our avatar to? Anyone have any suggestions? I was always a big fan of Jace. Who's in the new set? Anyone we know?
I've got them all figured out.
Let's go ahead and play Jace here. What pet should we have? I don't have this guy, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and get Kunrath. Change our board state around a little bit. Alright, let's go ahead and hop back in here. Temur Adventures. Grinding the standard ladder before the Throne of... Yeah, Theros Beyond Death hits. We are 1 hour and 15 minutes away from Wizards of the Coast sponsoring the Throne of Eldraine Early Access event. Very exciting. As long as everything runs smoothly, we're going to go ahead and hop in there. This hand looks very good. We're going to go ahead and play Fabled Passage first. And it looks like we're on the draw even. So if we draw a forest here, we're going to have a freaking fantastic hand. Oh, and another Lucky Clover. And we're just going to grab a forest here. Our opponent played a Blood Crypt. And let's see what they have here. Alright, I'm fine with that card. Go ahead and do your worst. We're going to go ahead here, play Lucky Clover. Escape to the Wild is the card drawn this turn. Alright, now the question is, do they have a Rotting Regisaur? Look at our doggy here. Such a good, mean, evil boy. Alright, Gutterbones is not a Rotting Regisaur. So I am not worried about too much here. I think this turn I'm going to go ahead and just play Lucky Clover and a Stomping Ground. The question is, do I want to play Edgewall Innkeeper? I think we hold off a turn on that still. We'll go ahead and play Stomping Ground tapped. And yeah, if our opponent doesn't have anything here, I mean, yes, they're doing a lot of damage, but we're going to get a huge amount of value off these Brazen Borrowers and also this Beanstalk Giant. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up. If they had an Embercleave there, that could have been pretty bad for us. Alright, so our opponent has nothing. And wow, drawing that Bone Crusher Giant off the top was insane. So this is pretty much free because we're going to go over and get 3 lands. And we're going to go ahead and grab a blue source. We're going to grab 2 blue sources here and a red source. And now we have Bone Crusher Giant and Brazen Borrower. I don't know if our opponent's going to be able to do anything about this. Like, we can just literally destroy their board. Sure. Yep, we get to draw a card. I'm just going to go ahead and return their entire board to their hand. Go right down the line here. See a Bone Crusher Giant. And we'll see what they play here. So we're not going to take any damage here. We're not completely out of the waters yet, though. But if they follow up, we'll see what they follow up with. And if they play Gutterbones here, we're actually... Okay. We're actually just on this plan here. We're going to go ahead and go 3 triggers. We'll go face, kill the Crusader, kill the kill Gutterbones. Alright, so what is our game plan here? I think let's just play Edgewall Innkeeper. And let's get a Beanstalk Giant down. Another Lucky Clover. And now we'll see here if our opponent's able to do anything. Alright, they're paying 2. Why are they paying 2? There's a Crusader. Interesting. Oh, they probably have... They're probably going to play the Black Lance Paragon. I could see it. Yeah, I think I have enough to do this. Let's go ahead and play Lucky Clover. Red, blue, blue. Let me keep it blue up. Let's go ahead and get 4 things from our sideboard. How's that sound, everyone? This deck's just crazy. Alright, let's go ahead and get... Ooh. I was going to say, how many lands do we have? We could just fling. Let's go ahead and get a Flame Sweep. Let's go ahead and get Fling here. We'll get a Pulse Marasa also. I could see just grabbing Fling. Or an Aether Gust even. Just get a Chandra. The question is, do I even need Fling? I could grab a Great Henge here. Sure, let's grab a Great Henge. Yeah, because Great Henge is just 2 mana. Alright. I was going to say, there's no way our opponent comes back from that. Great Henge coming down, winning the game for us. Hello, everyone. I see we have a few more people in chat here. Thank you so much for being here. If you could, hit that like button. Yeah, like button. I'm so sorry. If you don't know me, my name is Jordan. I run a YouTube channel called Crocodile MTG. We live stream some of the times. For example, today's the early access event for Throne of Eldraine. Yeah, wow, Throne of Eldraine. Theros Beyond Death. And so we are participating in that event today. So that event we are live streaming here on Twitch. If you can, please hit that follow button if you're new here and enjoying the content. Let me know you're here. Feel free to give me some questions in chat if you want to learn more about me. I'm very open to discussion. And let's go ahead. We're just going to go ahead and grind some standard events and have some fun until Theros Beyond Death begins. Which I believe that will begin in 1 hour and 8 minutes from now. So that is what we are waiting for. That is our end goal here. This hand looks a little wimpy. Let's go ahead and throw this one back. We definitely have more powerful hands in the deck. This one's a little more okay. I'm not 100% on it either. Especially with only having 1 mana source. Let's go ahead and make a white human. And yeah. We'll go ahead and play Fable Passage next turn. And we'll see if we draw another land. Go ahead and get in for 1. Temple of Epiphany. This is either blue-red flash or more likely Jeskai Fires. It looks like our opponent, though, they did pay the 2 life. So this might be the blue-red flash deck. Let's go ahead and grab a red source. I'm going to go ahead and get in here for 1 again. Unfortunately, we missed our land drop. Our opponent is debating something. If they stomp our human, which I think is what they're debating, I'm going to probably play Lucky Clover this turn while it's an open spot. Alright, get in here for 1. Alright, I'm just going to pass the turn. Alright, why did our opponent say oops? Because I missed a land drop? I'm not really too concerned about that. Alright, we missed another land drop. Pretty unfortunate. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing here. Kill the Gutter Bones. Why did I say Gutter Bones? Kill the Cutthroat. My bad, everyone. Get in for one. I think I'm just going to start playing Lucky Clovers here, and hopefully we eventually draw that land drop we're looking for. Our opponent's probably going to react to these, but again, they're going to have to react to something, so... Yep, a negate here for our opponent. As long as they don't have a threat, though, I think we're still in pretty good shape. If they find another Cutthroat, unfortunately, it's not looking great. Alright, they put one on top, so it's likely a threat. Alright, we found a land. Not the best land, but a land. I'm going to go ahead and play a Bone Crusher here. If they have the counterspell for it, that's fine. It looks like they don't, though. Alright, they're going to Rouse Outburst it. Alright, here's another land. Unfortunately, no blue sources yet. Go ahead and play another Bone Crusher Giant. This one is getting quenched. And it looks like a Brazen Borrower is finally taking out that token. We did get our opponent down to 10 though with just a token, so that's pretty exciting. We're gonna go ahead and attempt to play Lovestruck Beast here, and now I'm gonna attempt to play Lucky Clover. This is likely going to get countered. I did play around the Quench. Okay, there's an Ionize. So our opponent's down to one card in hand, and honestly, if we find a blue source, I really think we're in decent shape here still. Let's go blue source. Nope. We cannot do a thing. Our opponent's going to get to scry here, unfortunately. Now, if I would have drawn a blue source there, what I was going to do is get Chandra out of our sideboard since it cannot be countered. Gadwick for 5. Hot damn. Alright, let's hopefully find a blue source here, because I think this is our only window to get Chandra. And another red source. Woo! We are running more blue sources than red sources. Alright, I think I'm just going to concede here. There's no way after drawing a bunch of cards here that they didn't find anything. So we did lose that one, unfortunately, but it does happen from time to time, so I think that game was over and done with. Alright, this hand looks better. Looks perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and keep it. Go ahead and start with a Stomping Ground tapped. And then we will play this forest, and then we'll play a forest, and then we'll get a blue source. Alright, our opponent is playing a red deck of some kind. Red-black. Alright, so our opponent is trying to play get in for the Fervent Champion. I think that's fine. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take out the Fervent Champion here. Unfortunately, they have Drill Bit, but I don't know what they're going to take here. Oh, interesting. They took a Brazen Borrower. Sure. Crusader for our opponent. I think here I just Fae of Wishes. I think I want a Chandra. Hopefully they don't have another Drill Bit, but if they do, that's pretty good for them. Alright, here's a Rotting Regisaur. Now the question is, what is the play? I can see why they didn't want... I can see why they didn't want to... didn't want us to have Brazen Borrower now. I think here it's still just playing the Chandra. But I think I just have to -6.
Ever see a volcano erupt in person? You're about to.
And we have cards in our sideboard we can get back for... These sleeves are pretty cool. I haven't seen them before. Are they a Mythic Championship sleeve or something? Alright, another Crusader. Let me get a blue source, I guess. Go green, green. I'm gonna go ahead and play Beanstalk Giant. Get a green source. I do think I want to play this Fae of Wishes. That way we can get something out of our sideboard next turn. And I think I just passed the turn back. Alright, there's a Black Lance Paragon. Alright, our opponent's likely to have an Embercleave here. Alright, there's a Fervent Champion. Alright, there's the Embercleave that I anticipated. I'm going to have to stomp that. Sure. That's a little unfortunate. But yeah, that makes sense. Now I'm not sure if there's a way out of this. Ooh, there's a Brazen Borrower. There's a Lucky Clover. Alright, so maybe there is a way out of this. I didn't think there was. Oh, actually, I might be wrong. Alright, there's the Fae of Wishes. So if I can survive this combat, I think I win. But I don't think I'm going to be able to survive it. Alright, there's a Murderous Rider. Maybe I survived this. Oh man, they just had it all. If I had this Bone Crusher Giant up, I might have been able to, but I didn't have another red source. Yeah, so they Fervent Champion. If I had a Lucky Clover, I would have been able to do that, but unfortunately my hand wasn't like it is now. Alright, good game, opponent. They did hit for Xaxes. If we were able to find another land that game, we might have been able to win, but we didn't draw it. Or the Fae of Wishes, not another land. We had the land, we needed the Fae of Wishes. Alright, this hand looks medium. I think I'm going to still keep it. It has the ability to be large. So I think I'm going to start with this Fable Passage. I'm going to go ahead and get a red source. Alright, there is a Knight of the Ebon Legion. Get another blue source. Our opponent might just pump it. Nope. Oh, Spawn of Mayhem. That's a pretty good card. I think we're going to go ahead and escape here. The reason being we wanted to find that Lucky Clover. Our opponent is getting aggressive here, but I think we're going to be able to beat it with this Lucky Clover. Yeah. So we're in rough shape, but I think we're still okay. I think I go ahead and take out Spawn of Mayhem here. I can go ahead and play Beanstalk Giant because I'm going to get 2 mana sources here. I'm going to go ahead and get a island and a forest. Now the question is, do I give up this Fae of Wishes since we have 1 in hand, or do I play it just to block the Rankle? I think I need to give it up, unfortunately. So we lost a Great Henge here, and I don't think they realize I can just bounce both. I was going to say, I think they might have missed that there. It doesn't give hexproof. Interesting. What's in our graveyard? Nothing. I think I want a Chandra here. I'm not sure what I want for the other card. I think I might just grab a mass manipulation. And I think here I just pass the turn. And if they end up attacking with Rankle, I'm able to just go ahead and play the Brazen Borrower. Okay. I wonder if they realize I have Brazen Borrower. Whoops. Yeah, our opponent's misplaying here quite a bit.
If you haven't heard of me, then get ready to meet my flames. Glad I could help with your not being on fire problem.
Alright, this game's not over yet, though. Our opponent had a couple missteps in there. We were able to take advantage of it, but... we're going to go ahead and get Fey of Wishes back. And our opponent concedes. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get a little bit extra experience here. And we'll go ahead and jump right back in. Yeah, I think this hand looks keepable. We have all our colors of mana that we would want. Now literally. I think I'm going to go ahead and just go out the curve and make a human. We'll go ahead and Brazen Borrower here in a second. And I think I'm going to go ahead and pass. We'll see what our opponent does here. I could slow them down by Aether Gusting their threat. I think, though, I'm going to go ahead and just return it to their hand and see what they want to do. Because no matter what they play, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to be able to block it with Lovestruck Beast. Alright, here comes Azure. They're probably not, I was going to say, they're probably not attacking this turn. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab a green source and just play out this other Lovestruck Beast. Kind of think I just want to go ahead and attack. If they double block, I think that's fine. Sure. There's a Hellkite. I have the Aether Gust for that, so I'm not too worried. And yeah, I think this is a good turn to go ahead and play Lucky Clover here. And then I think I just want to go ahead and Aether Gust the Hellkite. Our opponent puts it on top. We're going to go ahead and get in with Lovestruck Beast while we can. Our opponent plays another Hellkite. We draw a land. let's see here. We're going to go ahead and get 2 lands off of this. We'll get a green source and a blue source. And we'll pay 2, and then we'll go get Fae of Wishes. What's in our grave? A Love-Struck Beast. Alright, let's go ahead and get Pulsamarasa. But we'll also get Mass Manipulation here. We're gonna go ahead and block with everything. I was gonna say, there's probably an Embercleave coming down here. Alright, we're getting hit to 10. Oh! Okay, they ordered our blockers wrong. And we actually got to kill the Gruul Spellbreaker. So that's pretty good. Actually, let me retap. Sure, let's go ahead and Fae of Wishes. Let's go ahead and get just 2 Aether Gusts. Not really sure our opponent can do anything about that. Our opponent can pay 2 if they want. Sure. Let's go ahead and Beanstalk Giant here. Let's go ahead and get our other blue sources we need. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and play 1 Fae of Wishes and leave up this Aether Gust and Pulsamarasa. And I don't think our opponent really has any good plays this turn. We want them to play the Hellkite. I was going to say, we want them to play the Hellkite and we want them to equip Embercleave. Either way, we have the answers. This deck is really nice. Plays really smoothly. We got a D-Spark. Alright. In about 10 minutes or less, I'm going to probably go eat. Then we'll be kicking off the Theros Beyond Death early access event. Yeah, we'll go ahead and keep this hand. We'll start with a Temple of Triumph. Temple of Mystery, sorry. Temple of Triumph is not in this deck. Or is it? I don't remember. Land. I could see keeping a land on top, but we're probably going to draw another land. Watch us not draw another land now. I'd be pretty sad. Alright, there is a red source coming at our face. I'm going to go ahead and pay 2. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to burn it. Burn the champion. Burn. Alright, there's a Rimrock Knight. I'm gonna go ahead and play a Bone Crusher Giant. Alright. It looks like we're against a red-white Knight deck. That could be pretty sweet and interesting. Sure. We're going to go ahead and grab a blue source here. I think I'm going to go ahead and play Lovestruck Beast, because that one requires an answer. And kind of blocks our opponent's creatures very well. Alright, and I think this turn we're going to go ahead and play Granted. I think... kind of want Chandra. I kind of want the Great Henge here. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and grab the Great Henge. And we'll see if our opponent has has something to destroy this Lovestruck Beast. Oh wow, they just evoke the Loxodon. Okay. So this is going to be really good here. And sure. So this Lovestruck Beast just kind of being a really decent blocker. Oh wow, and they have another Loxodon. Alright, they're going to be really upset when they see this Brazen Borrower. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just gain the 2. I think I'm going to go ahead and pay 2 here. Kind of want to escape the wilds, see what we hit. We do have the option for this Bone Crusher Giant here. At the moment, we don't have any good targets for it. Alright, here is the game plan. And we'll take 9. Sure. There's an Ember Cleave. What are they going to Ember Cleave? I could see it. I am going to go ahead and return that Ember Cleave to hand. Didn't work out quite the way our opponent wanted it to. Let's go ahead and play... Let's start with a Bone Crusher Giant. Let's play another Bone Crusher Giant. Holy Fae of Wishes. Enter the battlefield tapped. Sure, let's go ahead and get in for 2. Right in the face. Let's discard some of these lands. Now I know our opponent has Ember Cleave. think I'm going to block like this. I'm going to end up taking 5 or 6, I think. 7 if they put her on a Loxodon. Yeah, we'll see what our opponent does here. It all depends on who they put it on. Alright, they put it on the Knight here. That's interesting. Do they have another Embercleave? Okay, they have to sacrifice one. Alright, I'm not sure what that accomplished. I don't think that worked the way our opponent wanted it to. I'm going to go ahead and get a destroy spell. Yes, I know I'm drawing a lot of cards. I guess go ahead and get rid of the Fabled Passage. Sure, a Weasel. Yeah, I think our opponent just loses here. Alright, there's one card, or 2 cards in particular I'm looking for. And I can't seem to find them. One is a Lucky Clover. Oh, sure, we just grab Fling here. Attack out. Force them to block. Go figure. There's the Brazen Borrower. Alright. I'm going to end the turn. I'll discard this Mountain. I should probably discard this Fabled Passage. Sure, and that is going to be the end of the game. Alright, so thank you all so much. Ooh, we got the rank up and go to Gold Tier 2. Thank you so much if you've been watching so far. I am going to take a short break. We have half an hour until Throne of Eldraine, Theros Beyond Death kicks off the early access event. Wizards of the Coast, thank you so much for giving us an account for that. And we're going to be right back in half an hour to kick off the event. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in half an hour. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like and subscribe button. Also, check out the description below for more Magic the Gathering content. This was Jordan with Crocodile MTG, and we will see you next time.